All right, guys, we are live tonight, guys. I hope you're all having a good one today and tonight, Pokemon fam. Wherever you're watching this, what time of the day, I hope you're having a good one. So, in today's video, guys, I want to go ahead and talk to you guys about this recent article that I came across, and I want to go ahead and just share with you guys really quick of this story that kind of that's pretty much has been emerging all over social media, in the news and stuff. I recently came across this, I think, right around January. But now this is starting to become like now it's starting to gain a little bit more steam. And I just want to just go ahead and just pick this up and show this to my audience, to you guys, and just share this with you guys really quick. I'm gonna go ahead and share my thoughts. But I'm gonna go ahead and start with a nutshell, like what this is. So I don't know if you guys heard of the NFL player. His name is Blake Martinez. So Blake Martinez is an NFL player, or was an NFL player, and I guess he retired right around, I think, last year. I would say he retired last year. Um, and I guess he decided to retire and start selling Pokemon cards. So that's pretty big. Like you go from the NFL to selling, Pokemon cards. So a little bit back, a little bit of his background. He was drafted, I think, in 2016. He was drafted by the Green Bay Packers, and then eventually he made his way to the New York Giants, and where like he played in the during his time during the New York Giants. I guess he had a great few seasons, and his career kind of just took off to where he became a very, very good, I would say great, linebacker in the NFL. I think one of the best during that time. Um, and I guess he sustained an injury back in 2021, tore his ACL. And during his recovery rehab phase, I guess he just came across Pokemon again. And I guess he kind of just reinvigorated his interest in Pokemon again. And just like all of us, how we all step back, from Pokemon. We're all kids. We all grew up on Pokemon, and then obviously we all just kind of grew up, and then just kind of made our way. And then, as we're all becoming adults, we're all adults now. We've all made our way back to Pokemon, and this is kind of like what he, basically came to in 2021. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and share the story just a little bit. So this is a pretty big deal, I'd say. Um, and it's in my opinion, this is very motivational and very inspirational. How this is not some Joe Schmo guy. I mean, this guy was definitely a good NFL player. He was definitely a star. I think his overall total earnings that he ended up earning in his 7 year career. He only played 7 years. He retired because of his because he tore his ACL, and then I think from his Pokemon business that he started in 2021, it just took off to the point where he didn't need to play football anymore. But it was estimated that he made around $30 million in 7 years during the NFL. So yeah, this dude definitely was getting paid really well, and he was definitely a star in the NFL. So let me go ahead and just read just a little bit for you guys. That way we can understand a little bit about this article. So here we go, guys. I'm gonna go and start reading. So when Blake Martinez was drafted by the Green Bay Packers in 2016, he didn't foresee leaving the NFL to sell Pokemon cards. Yet, after 6+ seasons as a prolific NFL linebacker, Martinez retired in November 2022 to focus on his side hustle, a company called Blake's Breaks. Okay, that was a little of a tongue twister. There, he buys and resells Pokemon cards, a habit, a habit the lifelong Charizard fan picked up in 2020 when he noticed that cards selling for thousands of dollars on resale platforms like Whatnot and Macari. Already an investor in Whatnot, Martinez decided to try it, buying boxes of cards on eBay, some costing upward of $30,000, and auctioning the individual cards on live streams. Some sold for a little as $5. One fetched $672,000. That's 672 G's. So right away, I'm gonna assume like right here, this is going to be vintage. This has to be vintage. This has to be jungle set. This has to be the base set, first editions. That's the only thing I can think of him being able to obviously buy a $30,000 box and went ahead and fetched something that was that worth that much. So that's a pretty big deal. I'm assuming this is the money that he kind of started his business with. He invested 30 grand and then turned that to 672, and then just snowballed that money, right? So let's go ahead and continue. So in July 2022, Martinez officially created Blake's Breaks, running it as a side hustle. Within months, he projected its annual profit to exceed his yearly NFL earnings. That's really big. He says So he left the league to put up to 80 hours per week into the business. Since its launch, such a tongue twister. Blake's Breaks has brought in more than 8.3 million in revenue, according to the documents reviewed by CNBC. Make It. I think that's what they're called. Martinez is 29, that's what it says, 29, declined to provide profit figures, but says 25% of them get reinvested back into the company. Today, about 60 people work for Blake's Breaks. Most of them are streamers, people who open and auction items on live streams, hawking everything from Pokemon cards to vintage purses. Martinez says he wants to teach them to sell so they can create their own lucrative streaming businesses. Okay, so that right there, where it says 8.3 mil. So I'm assuming this number turned basically into that. So we can just assume that he is buying all vintage. This is all vintage. I'm just assuming it's all vintage. I went on his Instagram. Saw a little bit of the things he was doing, and right away I noticed it was like mostly first edition stuff, vintage booster boxes. That is just so hard to get. That's why they're so expensive. Um, and then I'm not really gonna read into this because a lot of this stuff down here just kind of just like what I guess he was interviewed by a CNBC news reporter, and yeah, they just talk about like just the things he was doing and stuff. But I'm not gonna read that. This is a video right here. I'm not gonna play it for you guys. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I wanted to say right there. That's all I wanted to read basically from that article. So, what are my thoughts about this? So, I have a lot of thoughts about this. First of all, that's very inspirational and something that should motivate you as a Pokemon seller. If you are trying to sell Pokemon, if you're trying to start your business, right? If you have not started your business, right? You have not started your Pokemon business, right? This should inspire you that it's possible, right? Now, in his case, he's up there, right? I would say he's probably has like one of the best businesses, if not one of the best businesses I've ever seen as far as Pokemon, right? Now, he started off being in the NFL, he went through his college years, went to the NFL, made his money, right? So, a lot of people are going to say, well, he started off with millions of dollars. He was able to invest a lot of money, blah, blah, blah. And that's not the point. The point is that I just want to show that it's possible. If you want to do if you want to do $1,000 in sales, you want to do $10,000 in sales, you want to do $100,000 in sales, you want to do $1 million in sales, you want to do $10 million in sales. It is possible to do those type of numbers for your business, for your Pokemon business, and actually turn that into an investment, because people kind of forget that businesses are a lifelong um, investment, right? So right away, like this business is worth, from just the revenue he made, it's worth $8 million. You can just assume that his business is worth that much. It could be worth more, given that he has probably like a lot of inventory. So that's probably, this business is probably worth anywhere from 15 to 20 million with inventory. He says he hires people and stuff. So this is right around like maybe like a 10, 15, 20 million dollar business that he has created in the last 2 years. So, the thing is, guys, is just like, as a seller like myself, it's really, really, really difficult to find content on YouTube of how to become a Pokemon seller. I'm like probably like one of the few, or if not couple, people that are actually posting content about selling Pokemon and encouraging people to start Pokemon businesses and stuff. And this right here is a very extreme example of how far you can actually go. It doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be worth an $8 million company. Now, if you're gunning for that, gun for the stars, man. You could do it. I'm literally a believer in anything. If you put your mind to it, I'm a believer in anything that you can literally accomplish anything if you put your mind to it, right? I'm a believer in that. I'm a wholehearted believer in that. And people are gonna think I'm a fool. I'm just naive to think that way and stuff. And of course, there's like things you gotta be realistic with. Like to start from like selling your collections, right? And think you're gonna be like Blake Martinez and make 8.3 million dollars your first 2 years in Pokemon. That is very, very, very rare. Like him, you have to be someone who has millions of dollars already stored in your bank account to invest into a business like this at this scale. So that's the whole point of this video, guys. This is very inspirational. This is Definitely like one of my favorite stories because it gives me motivation. I don't know about you guys, but I'm just like you guys. Honestly, I'm no one special. Literally, I'm on the camera, talking through a mic, talking through this webcam, and all I'm doing is just voicing my opinions and just giving you guys my snippet of my journey of me selling Pokemon. I've only been doing it for 8 months, right? And there's still so much to learn from Pokemon, dude. Like this business is actually really difficult. I underestimated how hard it is to actually be successful in this. But I've seen from time and time again things like this and other people that I look up to in this niche where if you hang on to long enough, okay, if you basically do all the right things and you're patient with yourself, you're patient with your business and you're patient with your growth, that you can turn this into something that is life changing. Okay. I'm doing this Pokemon business not only for myself but for the community. Community because it gives me a sense of accomplishment. It gives me a sense of I would say responsibility for you guys to know this information and know that you guys can just honestly go on the leap of faith and actually try something like this for yourselves and give it your all. Give it your best, man. And that's the whole point of my channel is to basically just help motivate, inspire, and show you guys tactics and skills of how to start this. Because right now, guys, this is the golden age to start a Pokemon business right now. I'm telling you right now because I know a lot of you guys are gonna say, well, there's already so many Pokemon sellers out there online that sell stuff online, Joe. It's already saturated, blah blah blah. Well, guess what, my friend? In 10 years from now, it's gonna be even more saturated, right? So the time is to start now. Because when you start now and you look forward into the 5, 10, 15, 20-year period, right? And you do this religiously, you just put your head down and you just grind this, right? You find ways to build your business and build the growth of this business, right? You are going to be successful whether you make $100,000 a year in your Pokemon business, right? And obviously you got to scale that up. That's a lot of money in sales, but you can build up to that. That's possible, especially in Pokemon. Pokemon, that is more than possible. Do 100K years in your business. Very possible. Very, very, very possible. But like I was saying, the sky is pretty much the limit. And I just wanted to show you guys that. That's all I wanted to do. Those are my thoughts. I found this inspirational. I found this motivational. And it just goes to show, guys, like, this is nothing to fool around with. Like, Pokemon, I know people, like, if you tell people that, oh, yeah, oh, you sell Pokemon cards too, like, people are going to think you're a joke because people don't know that this stuff is really, really, really up there as far as, like, value. There's a lot of things that don't have value, guys. There's a lot of things in life that does not have value. When you drive a car off the lot, when you buy a brand new car at a dealership right off the lot, it immediately depreciates. It doesn't go up in price. It goes down. It keeps going down. It never goes up, guys. As far as like gaming, gaming consoles really don't appreciate that much unless it's like a vintage item, right? Sure, like yeah, if it's a vintage item, sure, yeah, it can be a little bit more as far as like being rare, right? The rarity is what the value is going to gain from a console, right? But everything else in life, guys, like you think I can resell my iPhone for more than it was worth when I first bought it? Absolutely not. So there are so many examples in life that don't have appreciation. Pokemon is one of the few things, and just TCG in general, is one of the few things that has appreciation, the appreciation effect to it. Okay, so there are many ways to make money off of Pokemon. So that's awesome, man. So that's all I want to share with you guys. Let me know what you guys think about this article, and just tell me what you if you have any questions, if you guys have any comments, let me know in the comment section below. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I will see you guys in the next one. And have a good rest of your night, and stay safe, Pokemon fam. See you guys in the next one.